people say, wow, all that's going on in that little house? Our congregation tends to be traditionally a white Lutheran congregation. We've been in this neighborhood for decades on the corner of Sunnyview and Lansing Avenue. We have schools close to us, both Washington Elementary School and Waldo Middle School. Well, as the neighborhood's become more diverse, we've kind of found ourselves a little bit disconnected. Our neighborhood now is probably more than 50% Hispanic and has changed ethnically and economically as well. About 5 years ago, we had a congregational meeting to discuss kind of the changes in the neighborhood and the separation that we were feeling from the neighborhood, to try to find a way to use the buildings and the facilities that we have at Holy Cross Lutheran Church to better serve our neighborhood. That's about the time that Matt Nyquist, who is on the Interfaith Hospitality Board, said, well, why don't you talk to Sam Skilleran from Salem Leadership Foundation? I made a connection with Sam, started attending the Churches as Neighborhood meetings. The first time I attended a CAN meeting, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe that there were that many things going on in the city around us. So Sam suggested that we apply to become a CAN center. We were accepted to a 3-year program where the first year they would fund us at 75% of our outreach, the second year 50%, and the third year 25%. We still needed to make some connections, and that's where Carrie Mayu comes in.
Man, you have to stand up and sit down.
Carrie Mayu is the lightning rod for the McKay area, and lightning rod is a very appropriate title, because she's just everywhere, striking here and there and finding ways to make things happen. So she started to make some connections for us. We went to Salem First Free Methodist to take a look at their after-school program. We went to our Savior's Lutheran Church to take a look at Foster Parents Night Out being run there. By looking at what other churches were doing, we begin to see some possibilities for us at Holy Cross. We appointed Doug Odell as our coordinator for our CAN Center. He also became the coordinator then for Foster Parents Night Out. So that led us to making a connection to Washington Elementary School, and our CAN Center just started to grow. I talked to Carrie and said, we have a house that's just sitting there that we need to do something with. Do you have any ideas? Of course, Carrie had ideas. Carrie introduced us to Catholic Community Services and the Fostering Hope Initiative, which was getting rolling in Salem. They were looking for a place. We had a place. Before we knew what was happening, we had the Reading for All program coming in. We had Delta Kappa Gamma developing a library. We had some volunteers that were putting books in. So that's developed into regular family literacy nights. We're running summer programs like Kinder Readiness, and the Head Start program, which is across the parking lot, is now coming over and taking advantage of our library with story time and book checkout. It's kind of fun to see the little kids from the Head Start program all kind of trucking across the parking lot, carrying a little book bag of the books they've checked out from the library. Another partner, East Salem Rotary, was looking for a service project in our area, and they came in and built raised beds, filled the raised beds. Now we're all ready to go for a children's teaching garden. The first year we ran 4 weeks of 4-hour summer camps with a great volunteer from AmeriCorps, and brought kids from the neighborhood in. They were planting, they were decorating, they were weeding, and the nice part about it is they're taking some of the fruit of their labor home to their families. You know, vegetables bridge language barriers. One of the critical partners from the very beginning has been Mano a Mano Family Center and their outreach person, Maria Lemos. She's been with us from the start. She's helping me with the interns that I have from Chemeketa Community College, and currently is the hostess for our coffee hour, which is beginning to be one of the key connections that we're making to the community. It was fun to see the living room of the little house just packed with people. There were conversations going on in English, there's conversations going on in Spanish, and Maria is there translating the English conversations into Spanish. So while the moms are in the living room, the kids are down here in the lower room putting together puzzles and reading books and Legos. And the women of the neighborhood kind of started to take an ownership in that, and inviting their neighbors to come in and cooking meals for each other. And now the neighborhood ladies and Maria kind of just make it happen. As churches, I think we always have a choice. We can operate, stay in our little cocoon and just do our thing, or we can choose to reach out and to do God's work in our neighborhood and in our community. And for us, it's been worth the risks. And so our little house, La Casita, has kind of become the bridge to bring our traditional Lutheran church a little bit closer to our diverse community.